them. Don't ever just skip over names. I'm not going to try to say them all now for time, but don't ever, you read this when you're reading that. Don't skip over the names. So when you get down to verse 8, then the king of Sodom, the king of Gomorrah, and the king of, it's naming them, drew up their battle lines, 4 kings against 5. Now the valley of Sedom was full of tar pits, and when the kings of Sodom and Gomorrah fled, some of the men fell on the tar pits, and the rest of them fled into the hills. And so the 4 kings then seized all the goods of Sodom and Gomorrah and all their food, and then they went away, and they carried off Abram's nephew Lot and his possessions, since he was now living in Sodom. Do you notice something that's happened that's not mentioned when? Lot did not live in Sodom. He lived near it. He was supposed to have all that land, but then he went into Sodom. And he got taken off with everything else that was taken from Sodom and Gomorrah's kings from this war. So one of the people who escaped all that reported this to Abram, the Hebrew, it calls him. And now Abram was living near the great trees of Mabram, the Amorite, a brother of Eshcol and Aner, and he calls on all his, he hears that his relatives have been taken captive, and he calls out 318 trained men and his allies, and he pursues as far as Dan. Then he keeps going, pursues as far as Hobor, in verses 15, and Damascus. Then he recovered the goods, brought back his relative Lot and his possessions, together with the women and the other people. And he returned from defeating that name, Kedor Lamer. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing it right. Kedor Lamer, and the kings that were allied with him. The king of Sodom came out to meet him in the valley of Shivra, and then also Melchizedek, I can never say that name, king of Salem, brought out bread and wine, and he was also the priest of our God, the Most High. And he blessed Abram, and he said, Blessed be Abram by God Most High, creator of heaven and earth, and blessed be God Most High, who delivered your enemies into your hand. Then Abram gave him a tenth of everything, and the king of Sodom said to Abram, Give me your people, and keep the goods for yourself. I just want the people. But Abram said, basically, I've raised my hand to the Lord Most High. I will accept nothing from you, not even a piece of thread or a thong of a sandal, so that you will never be able to say to me, I made Abram rich. And I think what he's saying is, God did this. You're not getting credit for it. To me, it sounds like the enemy is working with Sodom, and Abram's working with the Lord, and they are coming against each other. And he says, I'll accept nothing except what belongs to the men, the food that they got to eat, and what belongs to them. Let them have their share. And that's the end of that. I mean, that's the end of chapter 14. He's saying, I know you came out here to thank me. It's insincere, by the way, because you said, we could keep the goods. You just want to take the people. Something funny about that. And who knows? You could speculate it's because he wanted to build his kingdom back up or whatever, since he'd lost everything, that king of Sodom. But we also know a lot more is fixing to come. This is the backdrop that you always hear about, how God rained fire and brimstone down on Sodom and Gomorrah. This is the backdrop to that story, and now you know it. Okay, so we're going to get into 15 next, y'all. It's just intense. And I love y'all. I hope this is exciting you about the Word, helping you to understand it better. And I'm trying to get to where I could upload in the morning. I know it's midday on this. But tonight, I'm going to go ahead and get the one for tomorrow morning done. And I may even preload it tonight so you can look at it first thing in the morning. I love y'all. I'll talk to you again soon. But give me your prayer requests and any questions or comments or corrections. In Jesus' name. Love